Hello my dear friends, in this session we are going to read about two very small and very confusing topic, Z-score and coefficient of variance. So this Z-score has two uses. One is when you see the bone mineral density test report. Sometime when you are sitting in ortho OPD and suppose a female came with osteoarthritis complaint, then they can offer you a report of bone mineral density test, and on that report, suppose you found that it is written Z score is minus 3.2 Z. This is written in the report. Minus 3.2 Z is the Z score of this patient. Now, this female is of 55 year, and at 55 year, usually the calcium is around 10, 9 to 11 is the range. And suppose the standard deviation is 1. So how will you approach this patient? Will you be giving 1 calcium tablet per day or 2 calcium tablet per day? Will you be mild or aggressive? It all depends on this Z score value. And what is this Z score? I will explain. But let's first find the Z score in this question is given. So we need not to find Z score. It is minus 3.2 Z. The formula for Z score is given value minus mean by standard deviation. And given value is not given here. We don't know what is the calcium of this patient. But we all know that the mean calcium is 10 and standard deviation is 1. So if you know the mean and standard deviation and Z score, can you find this given value? Can you find this given value? X. So this X, 3.2, this 1 will go and multiply with 3.2. So it will remain minus 3.2. But here it is X minus 10. X minus mean. And this mean will go there in the next step. And minus 10 will become plus 10. So finally, the X which we will have is minus 3.2 plus 10, and minus 3.2 plus 10 means 6.8. So what is the calcium level of our female patient? 6.8. Now what does 6.8 mean? See, here suppose we have taken 100 female, and I suppose this is a graph which represents 100 female of around 55 year in this graph. And the average calcium, mean calcium is 10. It is already given. Average calcium is 10. Now, minus 1 standard deviation is 9 because the standard deviation is only 1. So if you do 10 minus 1, it will become 9. 10 minus 1 standard deviation is 9. If you look at minus 2 standard deviation, it is 8. If you look at minus 3 standard deviation, that is 7. And how many value lie between minus 3 to plus 3 standard deviation? How many value are between minus 3 and plus 3? I hope you all know by standard normal curve that between minus 3 and plus 3 standard deviation, if you look at these two area, 99% value are within this minus 3 to plus 3. So that means 99% female out of 100 will have calcium level between 7 to 13. But where is our patient? What is the calcium level of our patient? 6.8. So that means our patient will be somewhere here. C will be outside 7, somewhere here is 6.8. This 6.8 is minus 3.2 standard deviation away or minus 3.2 Z score away. So our female patient whose calcium level is coming 6.8 is out of 100 female have the lowest calcium because 99% value are inside. So only 0.5% are on this side, 0.5 are on this side. If you remove 99 from 100, only 1% is left. And that 1% will not be on one side. That will be 0.5 on this side, 0.5 on that side. So if you have 200 female of this age group, still this patient of us with Z score minus 3.2 have the least calcium in the 200 female. And so it means if any report you saw in OPD has Z score written as more than minus 2, minus 2.5, minus 2.8, minus 3.8, these all patients are very serious because 95% value lie between minus 2 to plus 2 standard deviation. So whoever is outside minus 2 standard deviation is in the least 2.5% female. Because minus 2 to plus 2 we have 95% value. So how many is outside? 5%, and that 5% will not be on one side, 2.5, 2.5%. So if you are sitting in OPD and the report has anywhere written Z score more than minus 2 or more than minus 3, these all are serious patients. We need to be very aggressive on them. We need to give this patient 2 tablets of calcium daily, vitamin D sachet once a week for 8 weeks, because more than that is not needed in a year. It will lead to overtoxicity. And then we also need to advise her to take milk in her diet daily, to go for sun exposure, to keep on walking and all those things, because this is a least female out of the 100 female in a sample which is here. So that means, what is Z score telling us? Z score is telling us how far is one female from the mean. If I want to know how far is each female from 10, that is standard deviation. Standard deviation is how far is each number from the mean of the sample. How far is each female from 10, that is standard deviation. But how far is one patient, our female patient, from the mean, that is what Z score tell us. So let's say in your class, suppose in the center of the class, there is a girl sitting, Monica. And at one corner of the class, there is a guy sitting, name is Rahul. If I want to know, just for an example, I am trying to explain this difference between Z score and standard deviation. If I want to know how far is each student from Monica, that is standard deviation. Average distance of each student, each number from middle of the class, and from mean. If I want to know how far is each student from Monica, we will use standard deviation. But if I want to know distance of one student, Rahul, from Monica, then we need Z score. Are you getting it? If I want to know how far is our patient from 10, our patient is 3.2 standard deviation away from 10. That is Z score. One patient distance from the mean. But if I want to know how far is each patient from the mean, that is standard deviation. How far is each student from Monica, standard deviation. How far is Rahul from Monica, one student from mean of the class, that is Z score. So Z score help us to read bone mineral density test report like this. Similarly, we also use Z score in WHO growth chart. And in growth chart also, if a child is having Z score less than minus 2 or less than minus 3, it means that child is a serious patient, is malnourished. So this is the second use of Z score, that is in WHO growth chart. Okay, this is the second use. Now, let's see the WHO growth chart if you wish and understand that, although it's a pediatric topic, but PSM can go anywhere. So let's discuss that. In the WHO growth chart, which we have in Anganwadi, mostly we use weight for age. Why we use weight for age? Why not weight for height, height for age? We have growth chart for weight for height also, height for age also. But in Anganwadi, we like to use weight for age because low weight for age, if any child is having low weight for age, does it indicate acute malnutrition or chronic malnutrition? Tell me, what does it indicate? Low weight for age. Low weight for age indicate both acute and or chronic malnutrition. So it indicate acute and or chronic malnutrition, both things. That's why we use it in growth chart. How it indicate both, and what is the meaning of and or? Let me explain with a very good example.